Great Debaters Contest is brought to you by Safaricom M-Pesa.
Welcome to the Great Debaters Contest. We are in Nyeri region. Hosting you is Austin Nyambok.
And I am Mariam Bashar. And for Nyeri region, we would start you off with nothing short of the most spectacular debate between Leshau boys and Kagumo boys on whether Africa should focus more on its issues of insecurity and conflict rather than innovation. We'll go straight to the debates. Proposal number 1, you have 3 minutes.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Brian Murid from Leshau Boys, and I'm here to propose the motion that says Africa must focus on basic challenges of food security and conflict rather than innovation. Food security is a situation whereby a nation is able to sustain its population and everybody that lives in that nation. Conflict is a situation whereby groups of people are involved in a serious disagreement about something. And innovation is the introduction of new ideas or new ways of doing something. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very much distressed this morning to say that each year we read in the newspapers that Africans, our fellow dear Africans, are dying. Then out there, children are dying. They're crying for us, for somebody to hear their cry, and no one is standing out to help them. So my question is this: what should we do? Should we focus on these children and save the next generation, or should we just go and innovate something that you're never even sure about? We also have in the news headlines day in, day out that Africans are getting attacks. We have nations that are not developed, nations like our neighbor here, Somalia. We all know about Somalia. Somalia is a nation that we all expected could be great, right? And now, what is happening to it? It is a war-torn nation, despite the efforts by other countries to help it. The question is this: what should we focus on? Is it going up for new things, or just try and make sure that these conflicts are solved? We also have nations like South Africa. A South African economy is very well noted that it should be one of the greatest economies in Africa. But what happens right now? It is getting attacks, it is getting down, and very much down than we expected. Reason being, xenophobia. We all know about it. We also have nations like Nigeria. Nigeria is known for its economy. But now, I'm afraid that every good thing that you knew about Nigeria is about to get down. Reason being, attacks from the Boko Haram. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the time is now. Let us take advantage of this golden chance that have been provided here and support this motion in agreement that we should make Africa a haven of admiration. Thank you.
Proposal number 1, you have 3 minutes.
Standing before thee is Samson Karaoke from the Kagumo High School, graced by the chance to oppose this motion. I honor the panel of judges and the House at large. Africa should focus on basic challenges of food security and conflict rather than innovation. Now let us understand what you're talking about here. I might as well elaborate on his definition. Now, food security is whereby all people at all times have access to sufficient and nutritious food to maintain a healthy lifestyle. It is whereby we have food at the end of each and every day. It is whereby you as an African, I as an African, we as Africans have enough to feed us day by day. That you will not sleep full while I sleep hungry, but each and every one of us has access to food. Now, food conflict is a strong disagreement between two people or groups that often leads to war or even strong argument. And I can assure you that our dear opponents cannot assure us 100% that you left your school without having a conflict with someone, probably over your breakfast or something. Now, what is innovation? Innovation is finding new ways, new methods of handling things, new ways, new ideas of tackling matters in society. We want to break the monotony of how we want to be doing things, and we want to have a new dawn on how we handle matters in society. The basic challenges are the primary and essential problems that we face in society. They are the stumbling blocks that we face each and every day and have to overcome them. Now, first and foremost, innovation in the political sector has to curb conflict. I fail to understand why you will tell us that innovation is not helpful. The biometric method of voter registration that Kenya had adopted from Ghana It ensures transparency during election. It ensures it is very clear to the citizens that they have gotten their chosen leader. I mean, wouldn't you be happy if you have had a president of your choice? Wouldn't you be happy if you've had a leader of your choice? Now what happens without this kind of innovation? We have manual voter registration, which comes up with conflicts by citizens because they are not satisfied with the election results. Why wouldn't you embrace innovation which will be able to enhance transparency and thus convince citizens that what is being done is right? Procurement of tenders. This enables to curb corruption, which has time and again continued to be a menace in Africa. We have found people, companies that want to secure tenders to construct roads, to be able to construct buildings and such. They have been there, but they have been paying bribes to be able to be given this opportunity. But when you have procurement of such tenders over the internet, then you can be able to overcome this menace that is facing Africa. Then that is why I pass on to understand why we will fail embrace innovation, which is a solution to the problems that we are facing. Innovation is what we have been looking for. Innovation is the solution that we seek. Let us look no longer. It is the route to conflict resolution. Thank you. I rest my case.
Opposition, you have 3 minutes.
Africa is a sleeping giant which can only be wakened by fighting the challenges. Here, the challenges refer to the problems that are facing Africa. Proposing the motion from Leshau boys, I'm Charles Kimani. Firstly, I'd like to say it's by tackling the problem of food security that we can venture into innovation. Take a country like the USA. The USA is fed by 25% of the total population. It has a population of 400 million citizens. But only 10 million citizens are the ones that are feeding the total population of 400 million. Why can this be reflected in our African states? Secondly, it's about that most African countries depend on agricultural produce for income. Let's take our beloved country, Kenya. The 75% of income that comes from Kenya is from agricultural produce. So, why should we venture into innovation and we are not so sure that we are going to get something from it? Let us perfect on what we have and work with what we have. Thirdly, food security is more profitable than innovation. Just pause for a moment and think. Why did the Europeans come to Africa? Probably because they knew that there was something good in Africa. They came here to farm. And surely they got much profit from whatever that they did. Israel takes soil from Kenya and other countries in Africa and takes it to its own country for purposes of agriculture. Fourthly, I'd like to say that there are conflicts between nations and terror groups. For example, in Kenya, there's these menace of Al-Shabaab, and in Nigeria we have Boko Haram. These have negatively affected the agricultural sector and the innovation sector in those countries. The Boko Haram have abducted 276 girls in northern Nigeria. And yet, so I beg to differ that we should focus on innovation because those 1.5 million people that have been displaced since this attack started in northern Nigeria would have been productive enough to bring income in that country in terms of agriculture. Thank you.
Opposition, you also have 3 minutes.
Innovation is the door at which the success of Africa knocks. John Benjamin Wangira, Kagumo High School, here to oppose the motion that says Africa should focus on basic challenges of food security and conflict rather than innovation. I'll first of all start by hitting you hard on the points that you have just given us. And you first asked us, you said that children are dying in countries, and you asked how we should help us. Innovate new ideas of feeding them, for heaven's sake. They say that you first give a man a fish today, then tomorrow teach him how to fish. Give them food today, then tomorrow, teach them new ideas of planting foods. Innovation is all about new ideas. Simple. You also asked why Europeans came to Africa, and you say that they came to farm. No, Africans were actually already farming. They just came to improve on the methods of farming. And then the extra they got, the xenophobia attacks in South Africa, my friend. innovation, because innovation brings opportunities in life. Once innovation has brought opportunities in life, it means that these people are going to get a chance to live a life their way. Okay, first of all, I think there's something I should tell you. 1 out of every 7 men is at risk of contracting breast cancer. Mark you, breast cancer. Okay, Judge Major and Judge Minor, let me ask you a question. Did you know that a person or a man at 30 years should be tested for prostate cancer and breast cancer? Well, if you know, now you know. It is a new way of solving the cancer menace without having to go through here and there and not getting the correct remedies for cancer. You know that if we get the remedies for cancer by testing these people, and we can now, it means that we can contain these cancers. It means that even the breakdowns we are facing at Kenyatta hospitals will be a story of the past. In fact, I really feel heartbroken when I hear that the people are complaining that even some are scared in Kenyatta National Hospital. Some are scared to go and be treated in 2017, my friend. How are you supposed to survive with a cancerous cell in your body up to 2017, 2 years from now? That is impossible. That is uncouth. That is bizarre. That is weird. That is unheard of. I've never had anything like that. I'm not a very good storyteller, but I think I can tell you a story. I have an uncle who lives at Madeira. And at Madeira, he plants pawpaws. And in those pawpaws, I went to him and asked him, how much do you make for pawpaws in every season? He said that he makes about 60 to 100,000 per harvesting season. And I was surprised. And this is Madeira, and it has got very poor land. Remember that. So once I went and he told me that, I was totally surprised. And you cannot imagine what he can do to the rest of these arid areas. Let us use innovation. Let us use new ideas to improve our continent. Thank you.
Green, 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 green. Baby M-Pesa, baby M-Pesa.
Ati baby M-Pesa, lakini sina pesa. M-Pesa, used by Ian Njoroge and Wekesa, the national service. You gotta use it, you gotta love this. Baby M-Pesa, baby M-Pesa, baby M-Pesa, let me see you use M-Pesa. Baby M-Pesa, baby M-Pesa, baby M-Pesa, let me see you use M-Pesa.
Take part in the M Challenge by sending your short song, rap or poem about Safaricom M-Pesa on WhatsApp, and you could win 1,000 shillings in Safaricom airtime.
The proposers have been asked to elaborate on how Boko Haram and Al-Shabaab tie in with the agriculture sector, and the opposers have been asked to explain why we should move towards using the internet and using e-services while cyber bullying and hacking and all these things are happening in our countries. Proposal number 3, you have 3 minutes.
A mistaken priority is like a forsaken opportunity. I'm Isaac Koredi from Leshau Boys, here to propose the motion. Al-Shabaab have attacked our country, Kenya. This is because they are in conflict with our government. Boko Haram, they too are in conflict with the Nigerian government. Take a look at this. On 5th April 2014, they kidnapped 276 girls. 276 girls. Isn't this a wake-up call for us as Africans to focus? Look at where this conflict is taking us. Let us be serious. Al-Shabaab, they attacked us in Peketoni, Westgate, Garissa University, killing 147 students, young minds. Food security, it's a major constraint in countries in Africa. Look at a country like Ethiopia, Somalia, where you see malnourished children. young men. Have a look at this. Agricultural productivity in Africa for the last 3 decades has stagnated. 3 decades, an approximate of 30 years. Our governments in Africa at large should emphasize on growing crops, drought-resistant crops, food for those. Do you really think that it is just for us as Africans to forsake and forego dealing with problems, basic challenges, such as food security and conflict, for something as subsidiary as innovation? Thank you.
Proposal number 3, you have 3 minutes to respond to the audience.
Change is as good as rest. Change is inevitable. Let it be known to all that innovation is the way to curb the problems of food security and conflict. Jeff Ian from Kagumo High School, thanking the panel of judges in the House at large for giving me this prosperous opportunity to oppose this motion, for it does not augur well with me. The second proposal said that 10 million people in the USA compared to 400 million people are doing the agricultural work. Hence, there is need to follow this lead and to copy from them. What do you mean? For the other 390 million people are doing white-collar jobs, as I suppose, meaning that you are agreeing with innovation which has brought about the white-collar jobs. Crossbreeding is a method of dairy agriculture which has increased production. Would you like to have 3 hybrid cows which are producing surplus production of milk, or having hundreds of poor quality cattle which are giving you milk which we cannot take pride in? Innovation has increased employment, and increasing employment creates vast chances to evade problems of prostitution, which is courtesy of desperation to put food on the table. Health hazards brought by congestion in the towns have also been evaded, since people can now settle and do work in the agricultural sectors back in the villages and increase the production, thus improving the living standards of the people. Crime has brought our youth to juvenile delinquency. Would you like to see your brother end up in jail because he does not have another alternative? Innovation will give him the answer. Our future will be lost if the youth succumb to this problem. Innovation will help to curb the problem of AIDS in Kenya, Nigeria, and Botswana, which are succumbing to drastic AIDS pandemic. While high-end medicinal inventions will help to curb these problems, thus improving manpower, and the manpower will increase agricultural production, which will help to solve this problem. I would like to finish by asking the opponent side to explain to me, as if I was a 5-year-old boy, how you will do without innovation, because I think that is putting the cart before the horse. Cross over to the side of shining light and avoid being blinded by your opinion. Thank you.
Time now for closing statements. Proposers, you have a minute.
Fellow countrymen, fellow Africans, this is what you should know about our dear continent, Africa. About what you don't know, or maybe what you know. This is something that you should know. The same biometric registrations here that you have been told by the opponents. What do I compare it to? As if it's a new device to make you and I quarrel. How guaranteed am I that this new biometric kit is supposed to guarantee me that the person I've elected to go and stand in for me as a leader is not going to do so? Or am I sure that somebody out there is out to hacking it? Okay. You should also know that Africa, agriculture forms the basis of many jobs for you and I. How sure are you that when you get out of there, you will join the agricultural sector? It forms the basis of the economy of Africa. So why should we go for innovation, whereas we should be working on this agriculture, this food security that you and I know that is going to take us as Africans to a greater knowledge?
Opposers, you have 1 minute for your final submission.
Half a loaf is better than none. Innovation might not offer everything. But at the end of the day, we cannot watch people dying because of lack of food. We cannot watch people dying because of conflict, yet we have innovation that we can turn to. Innovation is an alternative. You might have many other ideas, many other solutions, but I cannot understand why we reject innovation, yet it is a solution to the problems that we are facing. Like my fellow opposer said, let us come to the light. Let us realize that innovation is a solution to food security and conflict that is being faced in Africa. Let's not chase away the solution. I find it funny that we are rejecting innovation here, yet it is what that we have been long waiting for. It's the key to sufficient food and peace in Africa. Let's embrace innovation. Let us open our eyes and see what is right. Once more, I am Samson. I rest my case. Thank you.
Africa must focus on basic challenges of food security and conflict rather than innovation. And from where I sat, I imagined that this motion was in favor of Leshau High School, because there are very many instances where we have seen Africa's challenges of food security. I think you just need to have been exposed to media to see how many countries in Africa are struggling to be able to feed its people. And on the question of conflict, I think there was a lot of emphasis on terrorism, yet there has been a lot more conflict in Africa besides terrorism. We have countries in Africa that have had conflict as a result of politics: Liberia, Rwanda, Burundi, DRC, and the list continues. And these are the things that have plagued Africa for a very long time. And from where you sat, you were at a vantage position, but you did not take advantage of that. And so I must say that I was very disappointed with the school.
Kagumo High School. Samson. Good definition. I love the additional words that you give to the definition of motion. Great pace setter, I must say, and your examples, current examples, especially with what is happening with the government and online procurement. Relatively fast, giving your team a very good start. John, still very strong. I like the way you reason, simple logic, and you also come over as a very good cross-examiner. We can really understand you. I love your style of emphasis as well to bring across your points, and your audience connection, which was very evident. Nonetheless, your time back, so you need to be checking on that. Jeff, first time, and I've seen that you've really tried to connect up, but you didn't answer the questions when you came to the stage, and that's your role as a third speaker. Number two, I think you're reading too much. Sometimes now you lose the audience when you do that. Even your last point, your last submission, you're still reading. So sometimes try to grasp a few things so that you can connect with the audience as well. The audience needs your eye contact when you're speaking.
Kagumo, I think a lot has been said about you, and Samson, very good, as Maina said, best setter. The way you start off the debate, redefining terms and accepting the definition of your opponents, but spicing it up is wonderful. And you've grown as a debater. The same will be said of John. You've really grown. Of course, it might not be physically, but mentally. You've really grown. And I love your conversational style. I love your use of analogies. I love your story. And I think you're very comfortable when you take the stage, and that's a characteristic of a mature debater. Jeff, as it has been said, play your role as a third speaker, which is responding to questions. At the same time, we want to see the energy. For a team to win, there is what we call teamwork. I'm not saying you're a bad addition to the team, you're a good addition, but there are improvements that you can make to boost your team. Otherwise, it's a fair debate.
Without much ado, we'll go straight to the numbers. Leshau boys were awarded 63.2% by the judges. Give them a hand. Kagumo High School were awarded 72.4%. That makes them
We'd like to thank Safaricom M-Pesa and KBC Channel 1. Kindly follow us on Twitter, Great Debaters EA. I am Austin Nyombok.
And I am Mariam Bishar. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time.
Great Debaters Contest was brought to you by Safaricom M-Pesa.